All right, in this next question, let's handle this one little bit at a time. But what we have here is an absolute value equation where we got to remember that the input is always going to be made positive. So whether we figure out what makes this positive 17 or negative 17, it doesn't matter. Because if it's positive 17 or negative 17, either way, absolute value makes it positive. So that's the goal here. We just want to figure out what makes 37 minus 5x. We want to figure out what makes it positive 17. And we also want to know what makes it negative 17. That's really what we need. If we can figure that out, we'll be in a good position. So allow me to just bring that back in frame and then just draw a little vertical line here. We can make do from each side and let's get to work. So here on the left, first thing I'll do is I'll go ahead and move that 37 over to the right. To do that, I'll get rid of a positive 37 that's just sitting there, and that'll be by subtracting the 37. When we do that, we'll cancel out on the left side, leaving us with negative 5x. And then 17 minus 37, the difference is 20, and that'll be a negative 20 because we are taking away more than what we have, so we'll make that difference negative. Lastly, we'll divide both sides by negative 5, and we're done. Cancels out on the left, leaving you with a positive x. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 20 divided by 5 is 4. We have one of the answers, and if I just browse here, I see that A and B both have x equals 4, but C nor D have it, so I can cancel C and D. If I'm pressed for time, I can just take a quick guess. But here I'm not exactly pressed. We can continue on and finish up by subtracting 37 on both sides over there. Cancels on the left, leaving us with negative 5x equals negative 17 minus 37, and that will end up giving us over here negative 54. And from there, my party people, what we're going to do to wrap things up is divide both sides by the negative 5. And we're set. So here that'll cancel out, leaving us with x. And then negative divided by a negative is a positive. And then we have 54 divided by 5, which is almost 11. That is exactly 10.8. So when we take a look at the problem that we have in front of us, well, we have A and B actually being the exact same. And then we have a couple of issues here. So this is the last problem for sure. But if you picked A or B, you're correct, technically speaking, because this should have never been a decimal to begin with. That should have been a raw whole number. So either way, everybody, this one was a curveball. If you felt that way, I was just really excited to get you one of the tougher ones at the end. But there we go. If you picked A or B, still would have been correct. All right, so next problem up. First thing we're going to do, as always, is read that question sentence first. Remember, we cannot get comfortable. We cannot assume that things are going to be done in the way that we hope they'll be done. We have to confirm. We have to verify. That's what makes this reasoning. So we are looking for the total. It's clear as day right there. How to get there is not entirely clear. It's not a straight shot. So here it says again, what is the total? So what information do we have? It says you buy a book for 70 bucks, board game 85, and then you see 11% off. Easiest mistake that somebody can make, easiest mistake is thinking that your items, the book and the board game, are both 11% off. Everyone, is that true? Are both items discounted at 11% off? That is not true. It's not. Take a look. Let's change the color up. Let me use green. It says only the board game is discounted at 11% off. That's only the board game. The book is still $70. One more time, everybody. The book does not get discounted. You are paying full price for the book.
So that stays as 70. The board game, though, we have to figure out what price you're actually paying because it's not 85. We have to apply that discount. There are two ways we can do that. Number one is going to be using the 11% that they give you, multiplying by the $85. But everybody, will that by itself give you the final price for the board game itself? Will that be enough by itself? The answer is no. This ties all the way back to your formula, everybody. Ties right back to your formula. If the percent that we plug in represents the discount, that is horrible spelling and handwriting, but if that represents the discount, then the result represents the discount. We're not looking for the discount. We're looking for the final price so we can add that back up in here. So the better way, the faster way to go about this is to not use 11%. Let's use the original price minus the discount, and that gives us 89%. That's the final for the board game. That's the percentage that we should use because it'll give us a much clearer shot at getting the final number. So here we go, 89%, and that is the final amount. So now we're good to go. So allow me to remove this, and let's get to work. 85 multiplied by 89%, so 0.89. 5 times 9, that's going to give us 45. Then 8 times 9 will give us 72. Carry the 4 is 76. We'll place a 0 so we can work with the 8 now. So we have 5 times 8, that's 40. Carry the 4. 8 times 8 is 64. Carry the 4 is 68. Add this up, and we have 5, 6, 7 plus 8 is 15. That almost sounds like a pun. And then we have 1 plus 6 is 7. So now we have $75.65 after we bring those decimals back. So there we are, everybody. We have $75.65. And what are we supposed to do with that value, everyone? Yeah, we're supposed to add that back like we said we would. So booyah, there we go. Let me actually highlight that in green. That right there is going to be the cost of the board game. This is the book. Right there. And so we'll bring that $70 or $75.65. I'm just making sure I write all of this down to make sure it's very clear. And so to get that final amount, you add those together and we get $145.65. That is your final after you incorporate that discount into only the board game, and that'll give us answer choice C. Next up, what is the value of 31 to the power of 0? 31 to the power of 0. What do we do here? Well, this is going to be one of our identity properties or identity laws of exponents, where if you have any non-zero base to the power of 0, the answer is always going to be 1. So the answer here is answer choice D. Again, anything to the power of 0 is 1. It could be x to the power of 0, that's 1. Could be 99 to the power of 0, that's 1. Regardless, answer choice D is correct.